welcome back to the channel, and this is War 8 of Season 46, catching up slowly, and today bringing Chee'ilth, Cap Sam and Hulk for a synergy. I've got a hazard shift fight today, and I just wanted the extra cleansers. So we're going to be starting off on Path 6, and then we're going to be going into Path 5 in Section 2. So starting off with Spider-Ham and Magneto there, then Morbius and Onslaught. And then for the minis, we're going to be going for that Titania, and then on Boss Island, Sasquatch and Scorpion. So we're going to start off with this Spider-Ham. There isn't really too much to worry about with the nodes. There's combat deja vu prowess, but we're kind of just going to ignore that. I'm not going to go out of my way to repeat combos, but it's not something I want to focus on in this fight. I'd much rather just focus on my intercepts, get the taunt up, evade the specials safely, and control Spider-Ham's nonsense. So you're going to see me really try to make sure that I don't use any attack that's going to push me over 1 bar of power unless I can use my special straight away like I do there. I don't go for another light before the medium because I know that medium would have just pushed me up to 1 bar of power, so I can throw it straight away. Similarly here, after he throws a special, I know that I've got enough power that I can go for the heavy counter, pause the bleeds there. It's not going to push me over a bar, and I can just let him bleed out. Another really nice thing about Chee'ilth on that node is that the spiked armor is physical damage, and my Chee'ilth is duped. Chee'ilth regenerates bursts of physical damage, so it means that we can mitigate some of that damage that's coming in from that node. If your Chee'ilth was Sig 200, you would be able to actually net heal from nodes like that. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool ability. And next here we are going for this Magneto. Sam is not metal, so he's a very good option here. It means we don't need to worry about magnetized. It's a pretty nothing node, if I'm honest. It doesn't really do too much for Magneto, and Sam has the tempo in this fight, or well, we're getting the tempo in this fight to control aggression prowess. I get my locked on here, and we go for the special 2, which takes him down the rest of the way. This is punching down a fair bit, class advantage, non-ascended 6-star, but Sam has the damage for these sorts of nodes. Next up, we're moving on to Path 5 in Section 2. We've got the Morbius. This is quite a tricky fight, especially for Chee'ilth. The node that we have to worry about here is Sadist, and that increases the opponent's attack per debuff we have on them. Chee'ilth obviously places a lot of bleeds, so I'm actually going to be controlling how many bleeds I apply in this fight. I don't want to not apply them, because a lot of my damage comes from them, but you're going to see me do a few more like light ending combos and not going for any heavies and trying to limit how many mediums I go for myself. So at the start of the fight there, we only apply the 1 bleed. We apply another one there because we needed the intercept. Like I said, it's not that I don't want to apply bleeds, I just want to limit them, because if we get hit by a special, that could really hurt. Luckily, there is Ebb and Flow Intercept, which removes our bleeds every so often, so that's quite nice to help control Sadist. And then the last thing that we really need to watch out for is his glide. So every time that further buff goes away, whether it expires or whether he removes it after a special 1, we need to watch out for his glide. He dashes at you very quickly, he's unblockable, you'll miss if you try and hit him, so it's something that you really just want to avoid. At this point, I know the fight's going quite well. I'm trying to push him to special 2 here. In hindsight, probably shouldn't have thrown special 3 because I come out of this animation not really knowing if I have the taunt up or not. And I know that when he throws his special 2, it's going to be unblockable. So he throws it straight away after this special, and I just go for the dex. I know the timing, but it's still a little bit risky, and the last combo finishes him off. Like I said, I don't think I should have thrown the special 3. I should have just carried on comboing and baited the special 2 in, normal play instead of coming out of an animation and being blindsided by it a little bit. But got the dex down and it's fine. Next up, we have this Onslaught on Mighty Charge going with Cap Sam here. Cap Sam's a fantastic Onslaught counter. I think probably the best in the game, alongside Shocker, maybe. They're both non-metal, they both don't crit. Those are the main 2 things that you want from Onslaught. And obviously you don't want to be doing energy damage or stuff like that. So on this fight, I'm really looking to just intercept throughout the fight, keeping Ebb and Flow Intercept Fury on myself so we can do even more damage. And I just want to get locked on before my L2. In this sort of fight with the tempo that Onslaught sort of denies you, you're not really going to build too many of your saps charges, which are those grey icons on the right. When you get to 25, you do power drain. But in a fight like this, like I said, you're not really going to get much of a tempo, so I just kind of ignore it. And I go for locked on just before my L2, and then I get an intercept off and throw the special 2 during the Fury. In hindsight, again, I think I would probably go for the intercept before locking on, because there's a chance that as you lock on and then don't get an intercept, you lose out on a lot of damage. So here, for example, I'd rather get the intercept up and then lock on, because lock-on's more in my control than intercepting. Here, Onslaught goes for the intercept, but if he hadn't, we would have had to throw the special into protection, or we might have had to fish for more intercepts. So just swapping the order of that might have been a little bit more safe. Luckily, Onslaught went for both of the intercepts that we tried to go for, and we got 2 specials off and just destroyed him. I believe that was an Ascended Onslaught, and Sam took him down in 1 minute 25, something like that. And that is a very good time for a champion with bad damage, apparently. So next up, we have this Titania. And this is the main reason that I brought the Hulk synergy. I want the extra cleansers to help deal with the start of this fight. I'm also putting on skill power back boosts because I really want to be able to get back to another special 2 after my first one a little bit quicker. It means that we can just control the debuffs a little bit better if our Tranquilize does fall off. So this fight is all about tempo, and at the start of this fight I bait out the first Haymaker, she throws it straight away, and here I'm just waiting for an intercept. Titania isn't playing into me, which isn't actually that bad because it gives me a chance to get more cleanse charges. And you'll see that when we do actually start hitting her, we get some awful procs of Hazard Shift here, and 6 cleansers turns into 1 very, very quickly. I notice an opportunity to punish a heavy, which firstly reduces my spirit charge timer, which gives me more cleansers quicker, but it also means that we can pause some of those bleeds to keep damage ticking. Again, I'm happy to bait out the Haymaker because she's on low power. I can get an intercept in afterwards, but it also gives our spirit charge timer a little bit more room to get us some more cleanse. Another heavy counter for the reasons I said before. And then we're going for most of her special 1 decks because I don't want to get all of my cleanse charge taken away by those weaknesses. With the 5 hits of her special 1, it means that it would wipe out half of our max cleansers, and that's something that we really don't want. So I tend to go for a block of the middle hit there. I find that's usually the one that catches me out the most, so it just means that we take 1 weakness and a very safe dex. After that special 1, we went for the heavy counter, we went into the striker, and a combo and a special 1 took her down. That was as clean as that fight could possibly go. Titania played into us nicely, we got the intercepts up, and we controlled it. Next up, we have this Sasquatch, which I've taken so many times and will take again so many times. Chee'ilth is perfect for it. I'm going to be sad to see when this tactic goes because the only reason she can take it is because of the taunt of the tactic. It means that it will power drain Sasquatch as long as we have the taunt active, so power efficiency doesn't matter. And the reason that Sasquatch is placed here is that during Wrath, the power efficiency of his Wrath mechanic and the node stack up together and he loses no power. So it just means that we need to make sure we get an intercept up for his Wrath. There are a few ways to do it, obviously just normal intercepting, but when he's in Wrath, he's a lot more aggressive. So right now, I'm thinking if I don't get one, I'm going to have to use it. Luckily, he does go for it, and we get one just before he goes into Wrath. But like I said, when he's in Wrath, he's extra aggressive, and he's taking a while to get into Wrath here, but he finally does. He's extra aggressive, so it means that we can intercept him like here, he dashes towards us, and we just go for it. We have our Grit passive up so we can punish that special 2 there even though he's unstoppable. Really, really great ability. And we just use the last bit of his Rage Aggression to make sure we can get 1 more taunt in. Here we time it so that the Falter goes and we just miss his entire special 1 and I get the punish after the special there to pause bleeds pretty sneakily. I was pretty happy when the timing of that worked out. But yeah, Sasquatch is going down very easily and we finish it off with a special 1. The last fight today is this Scorpion on Stun Reflect and Polka Dot Power. This is a perfect node for Chee'ilth. She counters everything about it, especially with all the science defenders that are placed here, since Brute Force is based on class relationship. If you have a class advantage, it does less damage. She counters the Polka Dot Power because we have a debuff with the bleed, and she counters the Stun Reflect because you're most likely going to have cleansers. So if you do parry, you're fine. The main thing to watch out for here is Scorpion's Sense. The taunt can help in this fight with tempo. So if Scorpion does throw his special as soon as he gets the opportunity, and if you get enough combos in, you can actually turn off Scorpion's Sense just before it comes back. And you see there, we just get it in just in time to get our 20 hits up. You'll notice I went for a medium ending combo and we actually accidentally parried, but because of the cleanse, like I mentioned before, we control that part of the node as well. This fight is going very, very well. At this point, I know that he has Scorpion Sense up, so I throw one medium and then my Striker because I know that's not going to evade and punish me. I get two mediums enduring the Striker stun, and I go for one hit just tapping. I'm basically just hitting him to reset Brute Force. I'm trying to reduce the chance that he goes for an evade counter. I know that Chee'ilth's damage is coming from bleed right now, so at that point in the fight, I just figured I'd go in for one tap, back off, one tap, back off, just to reset Brute Force and reduce the chance that I get evaded. Because if I went in for like a full 5-hit combo, I'm pretty likely to get hit with an evade there. So just to kind of close out the rest of the fight very safely, I just wanted to hit him as few times as possible. But yeah, that was a really fun war for me. I enjoyed it. I think it went well. Nice to use my two fave champs at the moment. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next few. But with that said, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.